This year's Catholic Christmas, Russia is celebrating something very different. Russia's Minister of Defense, Sergei Shoigu, has officially announced that the small town just outside of the city of Donetsk, Maryinka, has been liberated. And it has been a very, very long road. The fighting for this town has been ongoing since 2014 at a different level of intensity, of course. But with the beginning of Russia's special military operation in Ukraine, it, of course, intensified heavily. And it was a very hard-fought battle on both sides, I have to say. Basically, the Ukrainian forces, they very quickly evicted all locals and they turned every single rustic house, every single apartment block into a stronghold. So it wasn't uncommon that the fighting was ongoing, not just for every single building, but different entrances at the very same apartment block would be occupied by the warring sides. So that was exactly what made the fight for this town so long, so bloody, so deadly, and so difficult for Russia and Ukraine alike. We were the ones who witnessed the very final days before it fell from the hands of the Ukrainian armed forces to Russia's hands. And we saw, and we actually had a chance to walk what used to be the streets of this town. Have a look. The past couple of days, the past couple of weeks have been quite productive for the Russian armed forces here outside of Donetsk. Right now we are moving closer to the front line to observe some of these newly made territorial games. The ground is covered in a thick layer of ice and is treacherously slipping from underfoot as we're stumbling towards the front line. The rising sun reveals a ghastly landscape. So, this is Marinka, and I've personally covered such battles as for Mariupol, Bakhmut, now Artyomovsk, Severodonetsk, Rubezhne, pretty much you name it, every major town here in the Donbass that has been scarred by this war. And let me tell you, Marinka, or rather what's been left of it, is some of the worst examples of how a sleepy town can be defaced. It's unrecognizable, the buildings, there's simply no way of telling as to what used to be what without first consulting the map. The fighting is still very, very close. Yes, Moscow has claimed Marinka for itself now, but it is still a long way till Russia has a chance to at least start thinking about how this place can be rebuilt and restored, if it can at all. Russian troops have already taken the fight to the tree lines and strongholds outside of it.
Принял, наблюдай, стреляй дальше.
The town is anything but safe, though. Any daytime activity attracts the attention of FPV drones prowling the skies.
Уходим, камикадзе, пацаны, вниз все. Все вниз. Это не смешно. Все вниз.
Давай.
Потихоньку не спешите, сразу заходим.
Что, сказали, камикадзе?
Да.
Что, в нашу сторону?
Да, да.
Ukrainian army is bloodied and bruised following its hell-bent counter-offensive. Its resources are depleted. So Russia has stolen the initiative and has begun its own march forward.
They stood stubbornly for a long time, holding on to every basement, but most likely there were barrier troops behind them, so they held their ground. It feels like it will be all over soon. The enemy has already weakened. They probably no longer believe in what they believed before.
Amir Gazdanov reporting from Maryinka, RT.